Right, so these boats, this particular brand, come with absolutely nothing on them. All they are is fiberglass boat. On this particular design, they haven't got the fuel tanks built in them, and the fuel cap on the front here is just a free floating fuel tank that goes in there with a rubber hose that goes all the way down there to a 15 horsepower 2-stroke Mercury. The advantage of doing what we're going to do is for this. I'm putting the power supply in, so I've got a power supply that's going to go from there. I've got leads running from there, which then come up through, out through the hatch, into the battery box here. Now, there's going to be an isolator in the way of a fuse rating the cable coming off of the battery. Then the positive and the negative come through and along to where I'm going to have an isolator switch on the opposite side of the steering wheel. This advantage is quite good, so it means you can isolate the battery, even though it's fused here. You can still turn the battery on and off if you're getting out of the boat from here. Otherwise you can't, if you're in open water, you can't turn it off. You sort of got to get out and float. Anything that goes wrong, the fuse will go. But here is where the waterproof isolator switch is. From the waterproof isolator switch, I then put the cable to here. So where the bank of switches are, and the lights and everything I'm going to operate from, each one has an individual inline fuse behind them. So if you get into trouble, you can put your hand underneath, pull down the inline fuse, change the fuse, carry on. But if you haven't got that and you've got the fuses built in on the side, or a fuse box or something like that, if you're in open water, or an estuary or fast flowing river or something like that, and you've dropped anchor because you want to do a repair and you can't get out, you've got to be able to access it. You can't really bend down, especially if there's two of you in here, you can't bend down to get to anything. So by putting the fuses and the switches here, you can actually put your hand underneath, pull them down, swap over the fuses, push them back in, and you're off. Horn, bilge pump. If you look through here, then I've got the anchor light, which I put in, stern light. Now there's just about to go here, port and starboard, then just on the front there's quite a large floodlight going on the front there, and then there's two lights which are going to be going left and right, port and starboard, at 45 degrees. And they're only quite small, so what the idea is, you've got two lights that go to the left and to the right. So if you approach another boat on the river during the evening, where we are on the River Stour, if I'm approaching somebody in the evening dusk or night time coming up, I don't want to blind them, so I put on the side lights, and they give me a nice angle of 45 degrees, so if I'm getting in and out of the boat, it's nice to see where the dock is. But if I'm approaching somebody, it's always good to see where the edge of the river is at night, because you can easily lose your way. So that's quite a nice little tip. Now, when you're dropping anchor, if you want to drop anchor, because you always take a little anchor with you, because otherwise you get in trouble, you'll be washed out to sea and be gone forever. So what I do is I bought a little kayak, the little kayak, which is only 2.5 feet long, and the kayak anchors work brilliant with this boat. So you can throw your anchor out, so you can keep your anchor in here, throw the anchor out, sploosh, and then you've got no way of getting the anchor back. You can drive with it, and if you've got a float on the rope, then you might have a chance of getting it. But an easier way is just have here, tied here to your anchor rope, there's a thin little rope with a loop, so that when you drop anchor, you just put your hand here, pull the rope, and you can pull the anchor rope without trying to find it in the dark, and diving over the side to try and find it. You can just pull it back up. So that's a really good tip. And that's it really. I mean, if you're going to do, I'll move to the back of the boat. If you do this stuff, these 4-inch hatches are brilliant. So some people cut the back of the boats out behind the seats. I don't. If you cut a 4-inch one, and another 4-inch one, 6 is slightly too big, you can put all your tie down points, and if you want to put anything like for protecting the boat if it's in the water, you can put these on the rear quarter quite easily, because you've got the access. So for wiring in, it's all easy because you've got access without having to show. Yes, there's access here. There's one 4-inch and another 4-inch, but it's a real struggle to try and get in there. Get your arm in and get it down to here. So if you put another one there, another one there, it means that you can put your bilge pump in really easy. But don't go on the bilge pump. You can put your pipe, put it in, feed it through very nicely, thank you very much, down to where it's going to go, where the bilge pump is. Because these boats don't have bilges, you have to put them in. So, the access is easy. You drill from there at an angle into the side of the wing, and then this part here is all hollow underneath. It's all hollow inside. So what you can do, if you can take a 4-core cable, you feed your 4-core cable, well, basically you drill a little hole first underneath, quite a centimetre hole, feed a thin wire through, that comes out down there, you can hook that, feed your cable on, pull it up, that gives you a 4-core cable fitting here. But what's nice is, because you've got your cable which then goes to your anchor light, which is great. These are number plate lights off of a car, LED. But I've done 2, in case one fails. Because you never know, they're only car plate number plate lights. But when you go along from a distance, they look like one light, so it doesn't look like 2. But if one fails, you've always got a stern light. So they come out underneath. So I've done it so that light comes out through one hole here, this light comes out through one hole here, and the anchor light comes out through here. So I've only got 2 holes underneath this plate, one for feeding the cable through and one for the lights. Now the great advantage of leaving the cables here underneath the lid of this whisper box is that you've got access to them if you want to change the fittings at some point without having to blast your way into the wing. Now what I did was, I took a whisper box, took the lid off, yeah, so the lid is now just about, you can see it, there, that's the lid. Just a little drainage hole in the middle, and a little spare one there, so it won't ever fill up with water if it gets damp and condensation on the river, because it does get hot, cold, hot, cold. But that gives you, inside there, the cables are coiled up just enough, so they're soldered and heat shrinked, but it means, if I ever need to change a fitting, or an item, I just have to undo this, and I can hook through the hole, the cables through, and change any of the fittings, and all I've got is the world's thinnest little waterproof box, because it's just the lid, glued, all the way around with CT1, and it's like almost non-noticeable, but that means you can have your lights on the wing, and you can't really see it, but you can always get to them. That's it really. I mean, the boat itself is an amazing little boat, but it's just a matter of getting the little fixes done.